What is going on, everybody? It's Ghost Flipping here, and I hope all of you guys are having a great day so far. Hope life is treating you well. Today, I'm flipping the Frank, the original Frank from LDY. I don't know why. Today just felt like a day that I wanted to flip a Balisong that has a crap ton of tip weight, so that's what I'm doing. Just fans so well, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, anyways, today I wanted to talk about 3 things that I wish I knew before I got into flipping, okay? Now, this is something that I feel is very important, especially for people who are newer to the hobby. But not only that, I'm also going to be mentioning a few things that I feel like can kind of benefit anybody of any skill range. So hopefully this video is informative, helpful, something like that. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you guys feel like I missed, let me know. I would be glad to hear your guys' thoughts or opinions down in the comments. But yeah, first thing I wish I knew before I got into flipping is you don't need the best of the best to get started. Okay, now this is something that I feel like is heavily pushed among a lot of people, especially if you watch, Balisong YouTubers or, creators. 9 times out of 10, they have decent Balisongs, right? And you see them doing all these super cool tricks and you think, oh, to be able to do tricks like that, I really do need to have a better Balisong, right? This quote-unquote $40 Balisong isn't going to suit me for, how good I want to be. And I can definitely see why you feel that way, because that was literally me like a year ago when I first started. And I'm here to remind you that I repeat, you do not need the best of the best to get good. You can get extremely good at flipping and acquire a bunch of skills and overall just become insane, right? Better than me. Like, I'm not even good, but you can get really, really good at flipping on like a $40 Balisong, right? $50 Balisong. To give you guys kind of some insight, I started on the Nibali's Lightning, which is not really as known anymore because there's so many better options, but needless to say, that's a $40 aluminum Balisong that I got on Amazon, right? Just because I thought it looked cool. And, that kind of started off my, my knowledge of tricks. I was able to learn a lot of basic stuff on there. And honestly, if I was to pick it up today, I could still do a lot of tricks on it. And honestly, the overall price of the Balisong doesn't really matter as much as you think, okay? Now, I want to clarify. Will you getting a better Balisong, right, that costs more, that has better specs, that flips better, that has better performance, make it easier for you to learn tricks? And the honest answer is yes, I think it would, right? That's kind of common sense. You probably will be able to learn tricks a lot easier than you would with a cheaper Balisong. But is it necessary? I don't really think so, okay? So don't worry too much about, your price point, right? You can honestly flip anything as long as it's not those $5 stainless steel Balisongs on Amazon, which you could probably still get good on either way, but 9 times out of 10, sorry, I can't speak, you'll be fine with the Balisong you have, okay? Now, number 2 on my list, I was kind of deciding what to put on the second list, and I decided to put comparison, okay? Now, I've mentioned this before in a few of my previous videos, if you've watched me before, but I feel like comparing is a really, really bad thing, okay? Now, don't get me messed up with, admiring someone's flipping, because I think it's perfectly fine. In fact, I actually recommend watching flippers that you like, because I feel like it can be a good sense of motivation, and you can also find, your style from someone else's style, if that makes sense. It can be a lot easier to develop your own style when you watch someone else that you like, right? And that's just kind of a normal thing that I recommend doing, that I still do to this day. There's a bunch of flippers that I love watching, because I like coming up with ideas or stealing some of their tricks, and that's perfectly fine. That's a great way to develop, I almost dropped the Frank. That's a great way to develop your style and overall add more tricks to your knowledge. So I just feel like it's important to not put yourself down, if that makes sense, okay? Don't look at someone and be like, oh, I'll never be that good, but instead look at someone and be like, wow, that's awesome. I'm gonna do that, right? I'm gonna practice, I'm gonna get that good. That's perfectly fine, okay? Just try to refrain from completely putting yourself down and comparing yourself to others in a bad, negative way. Because ultimately that's just gonna make your experience with the hobby not as enjoyable, and again, that'll probably make you not want to flip ever. If if when you pick up a Balisong it's negative, because that's not the point of flipping, right? It's supposed to be a nice, relaxing, fun hobby, and that's exactly what it is for me. So, yeah, that's the second one. And the last one, I was kind of deciding on what to do for this, because I don't know. I only wanted to choose 3. I didn't want this video to be too long. But the last one is trick hopping, is how I like to put it, right? I feel like it's very easy to learn a trick and to quickly go to the next trick, right? Because you want to learn as much tricks as possible. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, right? If you like learning tricks and you like to expanding your knowledge, right, then by all means, it's okay to go from trick to trick and to do it really quickly. But I would highly recommend not trick hopping. Like I said, trick hopping, at least how I say it, is when you learn a trick, don't even bother to smoothen it out or to, get better at it. You just learn the trick and check it off your checklist and you go boop, boop, and you're like, all right, next trick, and you never do it again, right? And ultimately, I don't feel like there's much, benefit in terms of your skill when you just learn a trick and then never do it again and then go to the next trick, right? Just to quote unquote say that you have learned those tricks. And again, I mean, you do you. Ultimately, I feel like as long as you're having fun and you're, enjoying your time with the hobby, then by all means, I mean, do you. But I have found with my time flipping that it's a lot better to try to smoothen out your flips and to kind of master the tricks you already know, because that'll in turn give you a better flowy style, if that makes sense, okay? Now, I'm no one to, call flowy because, in my opinion, I flip too fast. I've always wanted to kind of slow down my flips, like this. Ooh, nice and slow, nice and flowy. No, I'm just kidding. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Take it step by step, baby steps, as we'll say it, okay? Don't rush the process. That's what I was trying to say. Don't rush the process, okay? Take it step by step. Try to master the tricks you already know. And after a decent amount of time, you will see significant improvement in the overall just style and flow of your flipping. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've had for today's video. Let me know if you guys have any comments, questions, anything like that. I would be glad to answer that. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out.